This is not a normal day in the world of Magic the Gathering when we start talking about price spikes and buyouts of a set that hasn't even released yet. That's right, we are talking about the murders at Karlov Manor and what's happening with a lot of the single cards for a set that hasn't even dropped yet. I guess in the world of MTG finance, stranger things have happened, but this is just something worth talking about. Welcome back, everyone. MTG Moxman here. Thanks again for hanging out with me on my channel today. A reminder before we start today's video, everyone, that if you enjoyed today's content, if you had fun here on the channel, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. New content every single day. So what are we talking about, guys? Murder at Karlov Manor. We've got play boosters, the new amalgamation of set and draft boosters. We have a higher price point that turned a lot of players off, but at the same time, people are buying this stuff before it even comes out. We already know they had reduced prices because, you're not sure how things are going to sell, and that was on TCG Player. We've had reductions of prices on Amazon, all this crazy stuff, but forgetting all that and putting it aside, because that's not the conversation, it's singles rule the day. So what are players doing? They are buying the single cards. And I mean, they're buying a lot of them. They're buying the pre-release pricing cards, hedging their bets, taking almost bets on what card is going to be the most valuable. That's speculators, guys. That's not a card you want. That's a speculator. Hoping to gain value. Buying 20 or 30 copies of something, or at least trying to, before orders get canceled or bad things happen. Let me share some with you here. Here is the Mole God, because this one is being talked about everywhere. Anzrag, the Mole God. I mean, I can't wait to try this thing out with whatever they give us in Bloomborough. But you can see, $16 and it's sold out. So, I checked across a whole bunch of stores. The wish lists for some of these cards are massive. Now, just because you see the sold out, you're thinking, oh, like how many did they have up? Well, let's say they had 6 copies only for sale. Only 6. Maybe 10. They all have a break check. All these stores have a break check, even a big store. Because they're not sure how many are going to be in the boxes. They don't know the track printing yet. They don't know how difficult or easy it will be to get a card. But players are still trying to place their orders, place their bets, if you were, to see what can we get our hands on. Those are good prices. I want to get the Mole God. Maybe you tried to get 4. Maybe you tried to buy 50 and the store said no. Either way, interesting things are going on right now. Now, part of this is going to be the blame of a higher price point, because players just aren't going to open as much. It's going to fall upon stores, which means the prices for a lot of these single cards, which may be at the pre-release pricing, maybe they had 8 copies and they sell that 8 and they go, ooh, that sold already fast. People are kind of looking forward to that card. Maybe it was $12, well, maybe we'll make it 16. And they put 4 copies up for 16, it sells. Ooh, we sold 4 more copies at 16, maybe we'll put it at 20. And on it goes. Now, sometimes cards don't sell. They go down in value. Other times, the store just doesn't put more up because they're not sure what the actual real market reaction is going to be. And they don't want to leave bread on the table. They don't want it to go stale. They want to make as much profit as they can. Makes perfect sense. Now, I just gave you the example of the Mole God. But of course, guys, that's not the only example. There's that Goblin conscript guy. There's a whole bunch of images I could have plopped up here on the screen. But chances are, most of you guys know these cards already. You're already taking a look from everything from the Niv Mizzet, which probably fits with the Timeless Lotus, if it deserves that name. And you guys who know my channel well know how I feel about that card. If not, go look up Timeless Lotus and Moxman. You'll get the picture of how I feel about that card. But there are options for a lot of these cards coming up. I know people were talking about the new white, 2 generic enchantment, kind of crazy counterspell type stuff, like, slow people down. There is some great cards in the set. I'm still not big on the theme. I know a lot of my friends and people I've talked to are not big on it, but I can't deny there's a lot of spice inside the set. And if we know that singles are selling well, and we know singles are where players are going to go to, then if players aren't going to buy boxes, then market is going to shift to singles. And if singles aren't going to be opened en masse, then the singles prices have to rise to justify stores cracking into boxes. This is going to be a very interesting time. I think there's a lot more here going on than players may actually realize. This whole shift of the pricing structure of boxes, sealed product, has messed a lot of things up. You don't see it on the surface yet. It's kind of calm, like a duck on a pond, but underneath the legs are just paddling like mad to try to stay afloat. That's how it feels right now, because under the surface, things are shifting. If a player like me used to open 12 boxes because I was having fun with my friends, I had my Kraken addiction on, and there's lots of players like that. And they've all shifted now to singles, and they say, I'm just going to buy 16 Mole Gods for all the decks I may possibly need. I'll get it out of the way. But if you're ordering 16, and that person's ordering 8, and that person's ordering 10, that person's ordering 30 or 50, or trying to, getting their orders canceled. When that stuff happens, the prices go up because the supply is constricted and tightened up. Maybe you didn't need that 20, but you wanted 20. You are a consumer in a capitalist society. You can buy what you want, but that is going to affect the prices. That is going to change the game. It's going to change the price. It's going to change how players feel. FOMO can set in. We talked yesterday about the elitist nature of what we may see in products like Secret Lair. The exclusivity. It's not going to come to the singles like we're seeing right now, but you may see singles pop back up to $50, $60 for sought-after cards. Because players aren't cracking the boxes, not as much supply is being released into the market, which means supply and demand, prices go up. Now, that may turn things around and actually get a few players to open boxes. It might. Probably collector boxes above all else because they have the best shot at getting the most. But some people will buy packs. There'll be some odds and ends here. People buy bundles. They open things. But it isn't going to be the same way it used to be, at least not yet. There's always a chance. If prices spike too high in the singles market, you may see a return to opening boxes. Almost like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Oh, singles are too expensive. I don't want to spend $100 on a Shieldred. But there's a good chance I can get a Shieldred in a box that's $200, maybe even get 2 or 3 of them and make my money back. Then it comes back to that possible winning proposition from getting a sealed product. But when you're hearing multiple stores tell me, oh yeah, somebody tried to order 10 of this. I'm only opening 5 boxes. I didn't over-order this time. And that's what stores are doing. Even the big bad boys out there, the giant stores of the world, are ordering, let's say, 500 boxes to start. 1,000 boxes. Who knows? Depending on the product and where they think it's going to sell and how they think their drafts are going to go, previous history, all these things are going to be muted from where they were before. They are going to be toned down and quieted, which again means even if a card is hot, if the store only ordered a case and they're opening 4 boxes and saving a couple of things just for the store, that's not a lot of product to get the initial market started. For singles in standard, for live play, for commander deck construction, people who want cards for Pauper or Pioneer, this could have a total weird, topsy-turvy, Alice in Wonderland effect where it's like, what is going on? None of this makes sense. It just doesn't make sense. Because what used to make sense no longer exists. The status quo has been completely altered and shifted from where we were. So the good old Mole God here may go up to $50, $100. If you can find a way to break them or find some crazy thing you think it's going to work with, you may see cards like this jump up. Now, of course, I don't know if he's going to go that high. I have no proof, nothing. People are speculating. They're taking their chances because there's no reason somebody orders 30, 40, 50 copies of a card. It just doesn't happen anymore. Unless somebody thinks they know something you don't know, they're taking a risk. Gambler's premium, trying to come out ahead in case that card hits 50, $60 like that little goblin. The uncommon guy. I forget his name. I always forget his name. Little guy with the little writing. Anyway, he started out being what? Next to nothing? It was like $2, $3, $4, $5. Reminds me of Monastery Swiftspear. Back in the day before multiple reprintings. Guys, I think we are going to be in for a real bit of a roller coaster ride the first 90 days of this set. Far more than I originally had anticipated. Because I didn't know this many singles were selling ahead of time. This many pre-orders were being plopped in there. Not pre-orders for sealed boxes, no. Pre-orders for singles. Because singles are going to rule the day. Singles are where people are shopping their money. Shop smart, shop S-smart. I'm not paying 200 and something bucks for a box. Unless you got on TCG Player for 129. But I am going to go ahead and buy 4 of the Mole God. Maybe I'll buy 4 Kaya. Maybe I'm going to buy 4, whatever floats your boat. Whatever 4 cards you want for whatever you're working on. Or even single cards. But a whole selection of singles which you know you can buy. And still equal less than a box. this is going to be, I think it's going to be a very interesting, fascinating thing to look at from the outside. But as a person who is going to be maybe opening maybe one box, right, for myself, maybe I'm going to just get the singles I need, I expect to pay a higher price now. I'm of the understanding from what I'm seeing on the market that this is going to cost more because buyouts like this didn't exist before. You didn't see this many copies selling of anything that stores put the whole check in place and said, I'm just not putting anything out right now. We're going to wait and see. We're only a couple of weeks from release. It is way too close to call. And a few stores, I will admit, have already tried to contact distribution to get more boxes because there's now a greater need and desire to have them. So I'm going to leave that out there. I'm not sure if it's because it's the Clue thing or because of the singles, but I can tell you the buzz is people like what they're seeing. Maybe not everything, but enough that they're spending their money. And the Speculator stuff, I don't know where that's going to lead, but it's a lot of money changing hands right now, getting their hands on those cards and trying to get their pre-orders in, which of course could be canceled, guys. Unless you're from a reputable LGS that doesn't cancel orders no matter what, all this stuff can be canceled, and I can't wait to see if that happens. I know the bigger orders weren't even taken. They contacted people through email and just said, you can't have it. So I don't know how much of that is going. You guys can let me know if you know that in the comment section. If your order got rejected, I would love to hear it. Just so I know kind of where things are going. That'd be awesome. But yeah, let me know what you're pre-ordering. Let me know what cards you desire the most. Let's check this video back about 100 days from now and see where we end up. Thanks again for hanging out with me on the channel today. It is buyout day. It is let's pre-release buy everything before the set even drops. What is Magic coming to? Guys, we'll see you soon. Have an awesome day. And don't forget, bring a friend to Magic. Hopefully a pre-release where I get the Mole God and I stomp somebody. Hey guys, a big shout out and thank you for the amazing patrons who support this channel every day, my YouTube membership members, guys. For all those people out there helping make this content possible every day, thanks again for being there. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have an awesome day, everyone. What is going on? Welcome back. Ramble Jamble time. Who tries to buy 50 Mole Gods before it even drops? 5-0. Now let's hold on. Who follows that up an hour later trying to buy 30 copies of the Mole God in different variations? Then who tries to buy 25 and then 20 and then 50? Guys, there's some crazy stuff going on right now. As much as I'd like to say there's no speculators out there, why does somebody need that many copies? You know it's true. There's crazy stuff going on. That little goblin guy is selling all the time. There's a whole bunch of cards that seem to be going up and down. What I'll try to do is get a list together from the stores. It's going to take me a while. They're not really keen on a lot of this, so bear with me, and I'll see what I can come up with. But it's so crazy to see it. It's like, oh, somebody tried to give us like $900 for Mole Gods, but we wouldn't accept the money. What? We don't know how hard it's going to be to get. We don't know how many we're going to get. We weren't even going to open that many boxes. Interesting. Guys, it's a crazy world in the world of Magic, and this stuff just lets me know there's an appetite for making money in this game still, and people are hedging some bets on some crazy stuff right now. It's not just the Mole God, but that's the example I'm using because it was right in my face when I got my email open. So either way, thanks again, guys. Thanks for being here. Usually I'm talking about buyouts on reserve list cards, and today we're hitting up moles